Check 1 2, check 1 2. Mic seems to be good. Game sound seems to be good. And yeah, I think we're ready here. Hey everyone, welcome to the food truck after dark. And also, happy weekend. My name is Ruka. Today we are back with another Mahjong and chat stream. Basically, for people who haven't been here before, Mahjong and chat is basically a time when I just catch up, play with you guys, see what you're up to. If not, I'll basically just monologue for the entire time, because technically this is somewhat of a podcast. Honestly, this is kind of somewhat of a podcast, but depending on the conversation takes us today, this is going to be, I don't know, it could be interesting, it could be, you know, just fun times in general, chill times in general. So, as usual, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started with the ranked matches. So let's get started with the ranked matches. And if people come in and we get some people that want to play, definitely that's the time to do it. Also, we'll need 2 people to start with. So let's see, ranked, silver room. I guess East, right? Yeah, East. Should know this. It's been a couple of weeks since I played. Haven't really done anything since then. At least not recently. Anyway, I don't really have anything off the top of my head to talk about. I mean, really the only thing I'm worried about these days is like there is wait. Back up a bit. The only thing I'm thinking about these days is my upcoming trip in basically a couple of weeks. Basically, in a couple of weeks, I will be on vacation, and I don't know if anyone else also has this fear, especially if they have like super early flights. For just early flights in general, like, you know, you have a feeling that you're gonna oversleep and miss your flight. That's kind of my fear right now. I didn't have that fear before, but I am in a different place than I used to be, and not exactly sure how the Uber service is going to be at like 5 o'clock in the morning. But I'm hoping there are people awake at 5 o'clock in the morning to take me to the airport. So the only thing after that would be like, can I wake up early enough? Or what do I do? Do I wake up early enough to actually make sure I don't do that? Do I just stay up all night, not even take a nap? Probably a bad idea, considering the trip itself is probably going to be like 14 hours, right? So basically, depending on where you live in the US, the trip to Japan is anywhere going to be between 9 to 14 hours total. I think if you live in the West Coast, it's probably closer to 8 to 9 hours, maybe a bit less, to be honest, because if you're in the West Coast, you know, that's closer to where you need to be. But if you live in central United States or eastern United States, it's gonna be closer to 15, maybe 16 hours, depending on how things go. But yeah, it's a pretty long trip. I mean, you can always try to get some rest in the airplane and in the airport, like get a few winks here and there, but your survival instincts kick in, so you know you're probably gonna be a little bit more awake than normal because of that. But it's like it's better to like get some rest. It's better to get some rest before then, so that you are as alert as you can be, because anything can happen. Anything can happen. I guess it's better nowadays where it's like, you know, there used to be a time in travel history where anyone could just go through the airport terminals. Anyone can just go through the airport terminals, and like, you know, family would be with you in the right before the gate, and that's where you kind of hung out until until you had to leave, and you know, it's kind of nice, but that's not a thing anymore. At least it hasn't been a thing for a very long time. So I mean, I guess it's kind of nice that you don't have to worry about problems, because you know, I mean, things could happen, you know, bad things could happen also, despite all that. But yeah, anyway, I don't know why I went into that, but basically all I wanted to mean was yes, even though you can get a little bit of a rest in past security, you might not be able to get full rest, because you know, even with as safe as it is past security, it's like, you know, they still say don't keep an eye on your luggage, don't lose track of it. If you see a luggage that's just out there in the open, or like a luggage that was left alone, please report it, because it could be dangerous and stuff like that. Air travel is very serious business, as it should be. You don't joke about bombs or whatever in security, because that would actually throw everything into red alert. They tell that to kids all the time. I feel like they tell that to kids who travel for the first time, especially like, you know, in their school trip. If you're with family, they don't tend to act up like that, but if you're with a school trip and your school trip is lucky enough to, yeah, like you have a school trip that takes you actually outside of your town, and I think typically in the US there's a lot of school trips that go to DC. Like in Japan, there's a lot of school trips that either go to Kyoto, Osaka, or Kanazawa. I think these days though they go to Kanazawa rather than Kyoto, because holy crap, Kyoto is super busy. Like those anime school trips that you saw in yuruHYPE slice of life anime. The school trips you see in the yuruHYPE slice of life anime usually go to Kyoto, but that was also a time when Kyoto didn't have so many tourists. Anyway, but it's like, yeah, you just don't joke around with danger like that. That's bad. That's kind of bad in general. Just a bad thing in general. But yeah, that's my main concern right now though, is like trying to make sure I wake up early enough, or I stay up late enough where I don't have to sleep, or you know, or I just take a nap. Basically, I just take a nap in the afternoon to late night, and then wake up at like midnight or something, or do something like for several hours until the actual until the actual time I have to go. But it's like also really, I mean, it's not late, but I mean, 5 o'clock for a 7 a.m. flight, and it's like airport. Well, I mean, that's still a long time. That's 5 hours from midnight. It's still quite a long time to wait for, stay up for, you know? Crap. That's gonna hurt. Okay, it doesn't hurt as much as I thought it would be. Oh. Don't normally talk about Mahjong on this stream, despite being a Mahjong podcast, but ouch. Hey, get out of fourth, or else I'll be taking a shot tonight. I haven't taken a shot in a while, to be honest, so I'd like to keep that record. I would like to keep that record. I did get out of a funk. I guess not last week, a couple of weeks ago, when I did ranked. Finally got out of Adept 1 after sinking to Adept 1 because of very, very bad, what do you call this, losing streaks. But now we're back, and I hope we're gonna at least be stable, or at least, you know, get back up there a little bit, because this could be painful. This could be painful if I get into a losing streak, and I don't want to do that. Losing streaks are bad. But yeah, that's my main worry. As well as a few other things I didn't think about. Just going to Japan this time. Like, I've never flown domestically in Japan before. And now I'm kind of thinking, not thinking, I'm finding out that, oh, I haven't even checked it yet, but domestic trips in Japan, I guess it depends on what airline and what the arrangements are. You may or may not have like less allowances than international. I think that's in general. I think that's in general. The weight allowances in the weight allowances in domestics is always going to be less than international, but there's also like weird other restrictions. I think in the US, there's like a bag limit of like maybe 1 luggage, and you have a certain weight limit. In Japan, at least the one with Japan Airlines, which is what I'm going to be using to fly domestically. I think there's a few other ones like low-cost carriers, but we're not using low-cost carriers because we got stuff with us. But anyway, with Japan Airlines, apparently the weight limit is like 20 kilograms, so that is a roughly 44 pounds, 45 pounds. But that is not per bag, that is total. And normally, you know, that's not a huge thing. The thing to mention there is that if you try to check in more than 1 bag, and you can apparently check in multiple bags, but the total weight limit has to be 20 kilograms. That's the thing. So if you have 2 bags you want to check in, both of them have to be 10 kilograms. Now, early in a trip, that's probably not so bad of a thing because you haven't bought all your souvenirs yet and your bags are basically fairly light. You might be a little bit over depending on what you bring, and that's not terrible because apparently the baggage fee isn't too expensive. However, and there's the big however, there is a size limit. And I haven't checked the luggage sizes yet, but I think it's roughly the same as what they require for the Shinkansen, like the luggage size. Maybe it's a little smaller, if I'm not mistaken. Are you serious? This person has it in it for me. What the heck? I would have discarded that myself even if it wasn't in Ricci. I have a feeling there's gonna be a 4th place finish in this first game, which is not a good feeling to start off with, considering I don't even know what the heck I'm doing right now. But yeah, just little things like that. Luggage, like how do I transport my luggage kind of thing. You don't normally have to think about how to transport your luggage because, you know, you just kind of take it with you everywhere. However, if for some reason you want to send your luggage ahead of you to the next location, you can actually do that in Japan. So there's what do you call this? There's like, I guess, delivering services. They not necessarily just for luggage. It's kind of like just general shipping services. I think Takyubin is the most widespread one. It's like they got like this little black cat, with another small cat in their mouth, like a mom cat carrying a little kitten. That is their logo. So that's like the one that a lot of people use to send luggage all around, and I guess depending on how big it is, it's gonna cost you like $15 or so, which I feel like is a bit more than what they used to charge. I mean, I guess inflation is a thing, so maybe. In any case, that is that's kind of how it kind of is. Anyway. Let's see. But yeah, apparently there's like at least 3 different services you can use. There's a Takyubin. I guess there's also one I haven't heard of. I just saw it today and already forgot its name, but and then apparently Japan Airlines has their own luggage forwarding service. Now this isn't a problem in general if you have like a hotel you go to and you're going from hotel to hotel during your travel in Japan, because the luggage companies can transfer your luggage between hotels, and that's a lot easier. Sometimes, depending on how much luggage you have, and I think they have like luggage size limits. So depending on how big your luggage is, you can only go through like one. What do you call it? You can only go through one service or the other, but it's still gonna cost you. I don't know. I feel like I heard some people have used the luggage forwarding service before. Me, I still have not done it. I'd rather like have it with me, you know, and not have to worry about what do you call it? Not having to worry about
No.
This is a great game to start off with, isn't it? It's a great game to start off with. Maybe I should have just... are we starting off like this today? Minus 46. That is... ouch. I just got to like 460 something last time we did this, and I am not ready to go back down under 400 Adept 2. No. Anyway, it seems I gotta take my punishment now. Let's go ahead and first, no, one shot of sake today. I hope to not have another shot of sake today. Win a game with Ron. I really don't do these events for Mahjong Soul because I'm not here for the other stuff here. Anyway, we still have this bottle. We still have this bottle of Goji Reserve, Toji Reserve. I think it's Toji Reserve. Oku Taruzake barrel aged sake. 20% alcohol, 40 proof. 4-grain whiskey, still Austin 4-grain whiskey. That is what they call this. I call it whiskey sake because of that. A 4-grain whiskey. I'm guessing the 4-grain whiskey is in reference to. I'm guessing that 4-grain whiskey is in reference to the grains they use for this. I mean, it does have rice, obviously. It's made from rice. But I think there's also other things in here. 4 grains, so whatever the other 3 grains is. Maybe wheat and such. What do you use for whiskey? I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, one shot. Aged after about 6 months of opening. Oh, there's a tart taste at the end of that one. I'm not sure where that's coming from. Woo! Doesn't burn too badly. Actually, doesn't burn badly at all. The flavor seems to have shifted a little bit since I opened it. I think it was best when it was first opened. Like a lot of alcohol, there's sometimes it's great when you first open it, and if you leave it for a few months or so, it's not as good anymore, or it gets better. Like the oak sake was not good whatsoever when I first opened it, but either I got used to it as I drank it, or it just got better afterwards, and the oak flavor wasn't so much of an issue. I think it's just the oak flavor wasn't so much an issue anymore at that point. Honestly, I think that's what it was with the oak sake. So I got used to the oak sake, but definitely not great in first drink. The whiskey sake was great in first drink. It's still okay now, but it's not as good as I remember it. And I did eat how many hours ago? What did I eat last? I think it was 4 hours ago. So So this alcohol is gonna affect me pretty darn quickly. It will affect me pretty darn quickly. Yep. It doesn't help either that I took a nap. Doesn't help that I took a nap and let's do this here. And that's probably gonna affect me a little bit also. Not exactly sure if it will or not. But I am starting to feel it. Starting to feel the sake a little bit. I'm hoping this is the only time I get into 4th place tonight though, because otherwise, oh boy. That's just not gonna be fun at all. Anyway, back to the Japan travel worries and just me trying to think what to watch out for and stuff like that. The travel itself, as soon as I get to that first airport and make it into that first plane, I am not worried whatsoever. Even the domestic flights, I'm not worried whatsoever. It's just gonna be a lot of domestic flights in this trip than I initially anticipated. I was only initially anticipating like one, not really a round trip, but one round trip's worth of domestic flight. But the way it's going, it's like there's gonna be a round trip and a one-way trip. Because I'm going to be focusing most of my time in Kyushu this time around as for this trip in Japan. And for one of those times, it's going to be from Kyushu to Tokyo. And for some people, that you might ask, it's just Kyushu to Tokyo. How long could it actually take? Yeah, it's going to take what? 6, 7, maybe 8 hours depending on where you're from. If you're going from Fukuoka, it's going to be roughly I think 7 to 8 hours, which is pretty long, and I've done that before. But when you have to deliver someone to the airport the following day and you're coming all the way from an onsen town trying to get to Tokyo, you end up doing like taking a Shinkansen at 10 o'clock in the morning and then ending up in Tokyo close to 8 p.m. That is a very long trip with hardly any breaks in between, and that's honestly not good. So it's like you kind of have to like take a plane if you want to not waste as much time. Yeah, I mean, you still have to go to the airport early, you still have to wait for the plane, you still have to do the check-in and security and all that stuff, but it's still not as bad time travel-wise. Still not as bad time travel-wise as being in the train, trying to get to the next train, and grabbing your bento. It is a relaxing trip on the Shinkansen though, so I mean that's a plus, but you also lose a lot of time just being in the Shinkansen. If you have like all the leisure time in the world and you're not in a rush, like you're not in a time crunch to get to anywhere in particular, traveling by Shinkansen, just taking in the sights from the train, just leisurely being in there, it's a great time. I feel like it's a great time. But if you have schedules you need to keep to, then probably the Shinkansen's not the best as for anything over 4 hours. For anything over 4 hours, I think it's debatable whether or not it's a good thing. But I mean, sometimes you just kind of have to. Like the other part of the trip I'm going to be doing is from Tokyo to Hokkaido. And most people, when they go from Tokyo to Hokkaido, they usually just take the plane. And that's like maybe 1 hour versus 7 to 8 hours with a Shinkansen. So depending on what you want to do, you can either spend a little less on the plane and then go to Hokkaido that way, because let's be honest, the Shinkansen is not cheap. It's probably a little bit more expensive than planes, depending on where you go to. It is kind of sort of more expensive depending on where you go to. And now with prices for the Japan rail passes increasing, I think it's next month. Yeah, basically in a few days. In October 2023, the Japan Rail Pass, the nationwide Japan Rail Pass, will be increasing in price. So it's not as economical anymore to do the Shinkansen. Apparently, it was too good of a deal, I guess. And because of that, and that they need to make more money, they are hiking the price up by almost double, which is kind of a ridiculous price hike. But you know, that's their own decision, that's their own term. So whatever they want to do, they very well should do it. So now, because the Japan Rail Pass isn't as cheap anymore, I feel like the Shinkansen might not be as crowded as it used to, at least for some places. I think some people will still pay the Shinkansen prices between Tokyo and Kyoto, Osaka, and all that stuff. I think that's the most traveled route anyway. But for everything else, that's gonna be like out of pocket, and some people are gonna probably have to be a little bit more choosy on what their plans are. Or you know, some people just stick to Tokyo. That's also could be a thing. I don't know, it's gonna be interesting to see where tourists are gonna flock to when... Yeah, it's gonna be interesting where tourists are gonna flock to once the rail pass prices are finally here, and how their plans are gonna go. For first time people in Japan, I feel like they're gonna stick only to the tourist towns and not really probably go back. They might go back and explore outside, but it's also not going to be as cheap anymore to go outside. So that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting, to say the least. Anyway, let's see. For me though, I'm still gonna go to Japan as much as possible, even though, well, I mean, you can still make the new rail pass prices work out. You'll probably just have to use like the shorter durations. Like before, you can get a rail pass for the entire length of your trip. So let's say you were there for 14 days or 21 days. Some people, I certainly did this also, have gotten rail passes for the duration of the entire trip, and I still made it out ahead, even if it's just a little bit, even if it's just by a little bit. It was still worth it to do that, because you don't have to like what do you call this, well, I guess you still have to keep up with so many tickets, and you would still have to go through turnstiles and stuff. Anyway, I think it was just more convenient in general for me. So that was still better, and maybe slightly cheaper. Not so much anymore though. It won't be so much anymore. So definitely more targeted stuff. Probably a little bit more domestic travel. It's gonna be interesting to see how that's gonna work out this time. And if the domestic travel isn't so bad, then I might consider doing it more in the future, and probably other people too. Especially if you're going from Tokyo to Kyushu or Tokyo to Hokkaido. You might see more air travel from foreign tourists there. That'll be interesting to see. And then there might be another complaint. There might be another complaint with locals saying, hey, we can't get domestic tickets anymore because there's so many reservations for these dates. And it's like, yeah, the balance with trying to appeal to tourism and appeal to domestic travel is gonna be rough. I mean, if you live in a country that doesn't have such a good domestic tourism, it's probably not as big of an issue. But for Japan, that actually does have a pretty strong domestic tourism. There's definitely gonna be some complaints there. Definitely gonna be some complaints. It's gonna be interesting though. I don't think it's gonna detract any visitors from going to Kyoto and Osaka anytime soon. I'm also pretty sure you can fly directly to at least Osaka. If you can fly at least to Osaka, then taking the train to Kyoto isn't difficult whatsoever. I think they're like 30 minutes apart anyway. And if they're 30 minutes apart anyway, you know, you may as well just go to Osaka, but Osaka airport might also be very busy. I don't know if it's busy. I don't know if it's busy enough already. It could be. It could be. No idea. I've only been to Osaka once, and only for one day. And I really should do a little bit longer look around there, because I only went to Dotonbori and didn't get to really take in Dotonbori as much as I wanted to. So really should do that a little bit more next time. But not this trip, not this trip. Point of this trip is to go to places I can't easily access first, and then eventually, if I want to do a somewhat lighter trip, then I can... Oh, I always have the option of going to easier access places like Dotonbori in Osaka or somewhere closer. Though I feel like at this point in my Japan tripping, at this point in my Japan trip adventures, I feel like the only places I really would like to go to are far-flung places that most people don't really go to. That's my feeling anyway. Like out in the countryside and stuff like that. Third place, I'll take third place. It's not a point increase, but at least it's not fourth, and I don't take another shot of sake anytime soon. So there is that. There is that. I need to get at least a positive one time for today. Or at least make up the points I lost. As much of it as possible. Because right now we're at 418 out of 800. I started at 467. 467 out of 800 today. Man, I did so much better the other week. It's pretty good in general. Pretty good in general. Alright, let's go again. Let's go again. Just a reminder, if anyone here is wanting to play me, let me know. Let me know. We do need 2 people though. We do need 2 people before we start a game. Otherwise, it's just gonna be us and AI. It would still be AI with 2 people, but at least you have 2 other humans to play with, right? Right. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, as far as future Japan adventures, there's I guess more remote areas I do want to try to visit. Like Shikoku. I hear Shikoku is interesting. Shikoku sounds interesting anyway. No one really goes to Shikoku, and I don't honestly blame them. Like, what's in Shikoku? If you look at Shikoku in any Japan travel stuff, you don't honestly hear much about it at all. If only because the only thing in Shikoku are some small towns, some landmarks that not a whole lot of people would be too interested in. I guess there's a the one cycling route. The one cycling route, something Kaido. Shinanami Kaido or something like that. Which I think is between Shikoku and... Does it go to... Does it go to Hiroshima? I don't think so. But I feel like it does, I don't know. I just know it's a really famous cycling route. A lot of, if you're like... it doesn't even have to be, you don't even have to be big in cycling. If you just like bicycling in general, it's a nice place to just bike at. Your base, and from what I've seen in videos, is like you're probably gonna have to rent a bike because you don't have your own bike going to Japan, but if you did, you could use that too. But anyway, you have a bike and you go to, like, there's this like cycling road right next to the longest suspension bridge, I guess, or the longest series of suspension bridges in Japan. And I think there's like 7 suspension bridges. So, and I think that takes a pretty solid day to do, just because of how long it is. But you know, it's great. It's great for an adventure, and if you're looking for an adventure, that's one place to go in Shikoku. But other places to go in Shikoku is like maybe there's a morning market there that might be a little bit interesting. I guess there's some beaches in Shikoku if you're interested in checking those out. There's definitely quite a few abandoned villages that might still be interesting to also check out. I know there's this one abandoned village where I don't think it's actually abandoned, but there might be very, very few people. But the village is mostly made up of, what is this? Scarecrows. Scarecrows that this one old lady made, right? Scarecrows that this one old lady made to fill all the people that used to be there. It's kind of sad to think about, to be honest. Like all these people that used to be there, and no one lives there anymore. And so I don't know if it's to cope or just to fill in time. Maybe a little bit of both. Of the good old days, they made scarecrows of people that used to be there. And if you've seen videos of it, they kind of paint it in this hauntingly eerie place, which I kind of have to agree. It's a bit on the creepy side. It's a bit on the creepy side if you think about it. It's the kind of thing you would probably see in a Chilla Arts game, to be honest. Like if Chilla Art were to make a horror game out of that place, I would not even be surprised. Because it is that disturbing. But I still kind of want to see it for myself. It's just, you know, hard to get there because you kind of have to drive. There's no... I think there might be a bus that goes nearby there, but because it's abandoned, it's like, why even have a bus route go there? So you really have to drive, and most of Shikoku I think is a driving thing. You would have to drive to explore it. And driving in Japan, I have not done it before. This will be the first time. But here driving Japan is a fun experience. Especially since when you're on the train, you really don't have any rest stops in between because, you know, it goes pretty fast. So your rest stops would be train stations, right? And the train stations themselves are very, very nice. At least most train stations anyway. Most of the train stations are pretty nice. And that has a lot of stuff to do, and depending on whether or not you can actually stop there before your next leg of your journey, you may not even be able to explore. And honestly, exploring train stations is a good pastime. If you have no idea where to go in any city, and you're there for a while, go check out the train station. The main train station, at least, especially if it's a big one. Like Kyoto train station's pretty nice. Nagoya train station's pretty nice. Hiroshima train station's pretty nice. The main train stations, the big train stations, check those out. It might be interesting to see what you find. Now, the smaller train stations where there's nothing, of course, there's really nothing to explore. Like, there's a train station out in the middle of nowhere. There's really nothing to explore there because there's nothing. There are no services attached. There are no services attached, but the surrounding countryside would be pretty interesting if you have the time to do that. Yeah. I don't know. But if you're driving in Japan, though, rest stops. There's quite a few rest stops, and I don't think I'll be able to like hit a rest stop this time because I'm gonna be in a small place, and there's really no rest stops there. I mean, there's gonna be like side road cafes and stuff, but there's no rest stops because I think rest stops are mostly in highways or something like that. But if you're driving around Shikoku, you're driving around Hokkaido, you're driving throughout mainland Japan, you should be able to hit a rest stop here and there. So that should be pretty interesting. And you can also see all the towns up close that you could never see from that you could see from the train, but you can't, drop down from the train because the train's going at 180 kilometers per hour, which is what is that exactly? That's roughly 120 plus miles per hour on a train or something like that. Yeah, pretty fast. Pretty fast. Gosh, I can't even hear the board right now. I can't hear the voices of the tiles, so I'm kind of going blind here in this Mahjong session. Doesn't help that there's a little bit of alcohol in my system, so that makes it a little bit tougher. I know some people get buffs when they get alcohol. I do, but at the tail end of that, the buffs kind of wear off, and they don't stick around very long. They do not stick around. Let's get rid of these. Anyway.
Boom.
I think there's only one place, one particular part in the place I'm gonna be driving around that I'm gonna be a little bit worried about, and I might just skip that route entirely.
Boom.
Holy crap, this is scary. This is scary. There's just like, well, I think there's like a... So I'm gonna be driving around an island. And the western part of the island apparently is like a one-way road or something like that. Now that by itself isn't that big of a deal if you think about it. It's not that big of a deal. However, the one-way road... Oh, I tempted fate with that, didn't I? Ow. Ow. I taunted them for a little bit of points and they hit me back for that much? Ow. I am in pain. I foresee myself getting a 4th place again this time, and that's not gonna be good for my liver. That's not gonna be good in general. Ooh boy. Yeah. But basically, the road is a one-way road. which is not an issue by itself. However, it's also apparently a very precarious road, because it's like a cliff or something like that. Now, maybe not a cliff, but it goes around the island. And apparently if it's gonna be like a really tight squeeze if you try to drive around it. Like imagine a bus coming towards you and you're driving through that one-way road, and on one side is a mountain and on the other side is the ocean. Sounds dangerous. Honestly, it sounds a little bit dangerous. I don't know how you would deal with that situation. I don't know if it's drivable or if I should just take the long way around, just eat the few hours to get to the other side just to see what's over there, instead of taking the short route. That's kind of my thoughts right now, among other things. I mean, there's also the... Oh, this ain't gonna save me. Still 4th place. Still 4th place. I'm still doomed. Gosh darn it. Don't tell me there's gonna be another streak of me losing and getting down to Adept 1 again. That's not fun. That's not fun. Okay, fine. Second shot of the sake. Let me see. I think I still have a decent amount left in... Oh yeah, I have a decent amount left in the bottle. I think I have a good... maybe 100, 150 mLs left in the bottle. I guess I barely touched it. I don't usually drink outside of stream, so we haven't touched this bottle. Well, we first opened this bottle back in the new year. Yeah. This definitely tasted better at the start. It still goes down decently smooth, but the initial flavor is a little bit meh. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still not terrible to drink. Unlike the oak sake, that was absolutely terrible. Holy crap, that was bad. Super bad. Okay, let's try to pay attention a little bit more in this game and try to get to first, recover some points that was lost. Otherwise, I'm gonna find myself back down in Adept 1, and I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. Okay. I'm looking at the friend Discord right now. I don't know why I got distracted by it. But apparently there was a game theory video on YouTube about how you can theoretically live in a grocery store for 40 years without having power. I don't know how that's possible. I mean, I guess in a grocery store would be pretty big, so I can see that happening. Anything frozen, anything fresh would definitely go bad within a week or so. So that you're not gonna have milk or juice or any of that stuff. You probably could still do the juice and stuff, but anything frozen, anything fresh, definitely gone. However, there's a bunch of canned food, prepared packages, and all that stuff, and also bottled water of all sorts. I guess those will be good. 40 years though seems like a really long time. I don't know if that's like 40 years for one person. If it's imagine this. You are in a post-apocalyptic setting. Zombie apocalypse, nuclear fallout, aliens came, whatever, just something happened. And you were lucky enough to find a grocery store that no one else has looted, no one else is camping at, and let's just say it is stocked full of food. Let's say it's stocked full of food. That would be a huge find, and you would probably have to defend that source of food for as long as possible. But the thing is, I don't know if it's 40 years worth. I mean, I guess it would be a pretty long time. You can't possibly finish all those cans of food in the store, on the shelves, or even in the warehouse that quickly. I think that'd be kind of tough for one person. But imagine living 40 years of your life in a grocery store though, and you know, you don't go out, you're pretty much just in the grocery store. You're not trying to find other people, you are hiding from whatever is out there. Man, as much as people like to imagine stories for the apocalypse and whatnot, I think it'd be pretty scary. Definitely would be one of humanity's darkest hours. Imagine this. Zombies probably are not the most likely things anymore. I don't think they ever were. But aliens could be real. Supposedly there's been some alien reports in the past few weeks and stuff like that. A lot of it's still bunk though. I don't know why aliens have been getting popular again recently. But let's say aliens really do come. Well, they don't have to attack us per se, and they just come and visit, and then we get like some alien viruses that kills off a lot of humanity. And then you lose all the people that know how to do stuff. You lose all the people that can make all the, what do you call these? Modern conveniences, electronics, farming, and all that stuff. Yeah, it's just... And then you have to survive by yourself. So what do? Do you start humanity back up again, or do you hide out? I think for most people they would just hide out unless they had the leadership qualities, right? The leadership qualities that would allow them to revive humanity. Unless they were the last person on Earth, and you know, that's you're basically doomed. You're basically doomed. I don't know what you would do if you were the last person on Earth. I think it would be a miserable existence. I had a feeling that was the case. But I did it anyway. It's like I should have known better. Well. Yeah, okay, these guys are looking at me like I'm an idiot, and you know what? I took a chance. I took a chance when I shouldn't have. That's just how Mahjong goes sometimes, alright? Jeez. Well. This is gonna be a downward spiral, I feel like. Back to a downward spiral. Nashikami, it do be like that sometimes, doesn't it? Why is the chat not showing up? Why is the chat not showing up on screen? Anyway, how's it going, Nashikami? How's it going, Nashikami? Week been pretty good, and anything interesting to talk about? I'm just kind of rambling. Oh, the chat is all the way out there. I'm gonna have to like move it back. Oh, wait, why is it all the way over there? Okay, new thing. We are gonna fix chat while playing at the same time. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Alright. I don't know. What's the worst thing that can happen if aliens finally try to wipe humanity out? I can't even imagine. I mean, a lot of people like to think of the War of the Worlds, death from War of the Worlds, because, you know, death and destruction and all that stuff. I feel like it'll be a little bit more subtle. If aliens really wanted to kill us, they'll probably just blow the entire planet up. They would be probably advanced enough to do that, considering they came from so far away. That's just my hunch. Been playing 2-player Mahjong recently. My opponent's hands have been faster than mine. Yeah. My hands last couple of weeks were a lot better. I got myself out of the Adept 1 rut. I was from Adept 2, I dropped down to Adept 1, and I got back to Adept 2 last week. Not last week, a couple of weeks ago. And now, we're on a losing streak. Because I can't hear the board. I cannot hear the voice of the tiles telling me what to do. I don't know if it's because I was sleeping in, or the alcohol. No, they usually, even with the alcohol, I can still hear it okay, but I think I've just been playing bad today. That's how the games have been doing. That's how the games have been doing. I mean, I don't know how many people believe in the, you know, there's hard the cards with Yu-Gi-Oh! I believe in the voices of the tiles. The voices of the Mahjong board telling me what's gonna happen. I believe in that. Of course, you have to play smart at the same time, but it does help to like listen to the board, right? And it tells you, hey, there's something going on. Are you reaching, son? Yeah, I believe in the heart of the tiles. Yes, thank you. I was reaching. I was also losing. What's my losing streak for today? I've only played 3 games, and this is my 4th game for today. So I had 4th place, 3rd place, 4th place. Yeah, it hasn't been good. It hasn't been good. Let me just tell you that. Most of it is stupid mistakes. Others like. I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't been paying attention to the discards, which I should. Any good Mahjong player knows, any decent Mahjong player knows that they need to look at the discards to see what's up, but I don't when I'm doing basically a Mahjong podcast. Basically doing a Mahjong podcast. And that's because I just play for fun. I just play for fun. I'm not playing to advance ranks or anything like that, except for getting from Adept 1 to Adept 2. And I don't play enough Mahjong to worry about tourneys or getting to expert or anything like that. I'm not that competitive. Effing A, come on, give me a break. Holy crap, okay, at least that's not me. Okay, they're still ahead of me. They're still ahead of me, but it's at least easier to get into 3rd right now. Crap. I have stopped believing that winning in this game is possible. It's a myth, it's a legend. Hey, people have won. People have won. Hey, Lacats, welcome. How's it going? By the way, guys, if you haven't noticed, you are in both YouTube and Twitch right now. You are both in YouTube and Twitch right now. I have decided that we should probably start doing this again. Just because, you know, there's some people that that probably still watch from Twitch, and probably might be good to appeal to those people. See what's up in this channel. But yeah, let me introduce myself to new people just in case. My name's Ruka. Hello. I don't really play a character. This is kind of, well, I'm okay. Let's revise it. My name's Ruka. I kind of run a food truck out in the middle of nowhere. However, I am also in a weird transition period. I am in a weird transition period right now to where I have announced a new design slash not model yet, but a new design which is coming soon. TM. I don't know when. Probably in the next 6 months or so, because you know that's how long it takes to do these kinds of things. Anyway, and yeah. I mean, I don't really play a character on stream, but you know, we get up to some antics here and there. There's probably gonna be one of the least gremlin streams, but however, it's also gonna be like, I don't know, odd coincidences. This channel is full of odd coincidences and maybe very, very greedy plays, which is me, which is me. No wonder people have had it with me with Death Road to Canada, because I'm a loot goblin. I have to be reined in Death Road to Canada. I love Death Road to Canada, but they have to rein me in, otherwise I kill everyone because I'm too busy trying to loot everything. Honestly, I think a zombie apocalypse would be more preferable right now than an alien apocalypse. An alien invasion apocalypse. Because if we get an alien invasion apocalypse, I don't think humanity will survive that. But a zombie apocalypse, you can potentially survive. Eventually, I feel like the zombies will die out, right? But aliens will most likely try to make sure you are dead or enslaved, one or the other. The best scenario in an alien apocalypse is that humanity is enslaved, they are taken to the stars, and we actually are able to space travel that way. And then eventually, future generations, if they live that long, will be able to steal technology and maybe make their way back to Lost Jerusalem, which is Earth. Now, if you guys haven't played Xenosaga, Xenogears, then you might not get that reference. But Xenogears and Xenosaga, I know it's definitely hard to find these days. Very hard to find these days. But they're good games. They're good games. Death Road to Canada, I tried again after you play, I still got it. Escape to... Oh my gosh. I need to do like at least one more playthrough of Death Road to Canada before I leave for my trip. I don't have it on the schedule. But I should. It might be a solo run though. We'll see. Limbs will keep decaying, so it would still eventually kill itself off. You would think with zombies, right? You would think the zombies would eventually kill themselves off that way. Would it actually work that way though? Do zombies slowly decay, or do they just somehow magically do not decompose as, you know, I mean, I guess they decompose pretty slowly, but do zombies in any media decompose to death? I don't know if that's actually the case, because in most cases they're usually whole. They're usually whole for a very long time. Oh my gosh, thank you for getting me out of 4th place. That saved me. But if zombies do eventually decay by themselves, that would be a good thing, right? So they don't stick around forever, and you can just wait them out. It would be probably a very long time, but at least you can wait them out. Yeah. Anyway, it looks like we got some people in chat right now. Does anybody want to play a friendly match? We need 2 people for this, if you guys want to play. I think I need a break from the beating I've gotten. I think I've only gotten 4th place and 3rd place, and I'm now under 400, 800 in Adept 2, and I need to like get that back eventually, but maybe not today. Maybe not today. Become skeleton enemy. Ooh, that's a good point. Would the zombies turn into skeletons, and would the skeletons be sentient, or do they actually need muscle? One enemy after another? Hey, it's just gonna be a friendly match. It's just gonna be a friendly match. There are no bets here. The only bets, the only thing at stake is me myself. Because whenever I do mahjong, as long as I have alcohol in hand, and I do have alcohol in hand today, if I get 4th place or whatever the last place is, let's say we do a 3-player game, I take a shot of alcohol, which today is still the whiskey sake that we've opened from the beginning of the year. I've already taken 2 shots today. I still feel okay. My voice is not going anytime soon, however, but I still feel okay. Yeah, let me know. Let me know before I start another ranked match here. I just need a yes. I just need a yes from 2 people. Down for a game by grabbing food. Okay. Lurkats, are you in? I know you usually want to play. I'm always in hope there's another player though. Okay, we got 2. We got you and Nashikami. Alright. Creating a room. 4th player. East only. Let's do 300 seconds. Okay. Here is the link. There is the code. Enter through mobile or the link, whichever one you want. And I guess I will also change my character. The Ichihime troll today was not very good. I need to figure that out. Also, is it just me, or has there been a lot of events in Mahjong Seoul recently? Because I feel like at least a year ago or so, Mahjong Seoul had events here and there, but they didn't have, like, you know, these smaller events as often. But they do now. I feel like they didn't. I could be wrong. They do have more events now, right? Like after one, they're kind of like a regular gacha game now, but it's not a gacha game, but you know, they're kind of like a regular gacha game. When one event ends, a new one starts, that kind of thing. I feel like that's what it is right now. Only been playing for 6 months? Okay, but compared to 6 months ago, has there been a lot of events? I feel like there has been, at least in the past 2 months. Maybe since, when was that? The Code Geass collab? However long that was ago. One of these days I will possibly participate in a tournament, but that's going to be a very long time before we get there. If only because I just don't play this game that often. Speaking of which, I know I probably mentioned this last time, but I've actually have not been playing other gacha games or mobile games in general for a while, and it feels weird, but it's also kind of liberating. Like, I used to play Blue Archive quite a bit, and I still kind of want to hop on Blue Archive just to see the girls. But then I remember, hey, there's always the Dojin sites, and there's always the Burus. So do I really need to go to Blue Archive to get my fix? I don't know. I mean, there's also Twitter with the Twitter artists posting their stuff there too. Like I can get my Blue Archive fix that way. Maybe. Maybe. This stuff is gonna sound so bad once I go into V3. It's gonna sound so bad. I'm gonna be like a dirty old man. I don't think we've had a dirty old man in a very long time in media space, but we should bring that back. we should bring the dirty old man trope back. I think it's funny. Okay, I think it's funny. It's funny if it's done right. It's creepy if done wrong. But I think it's funny in general. I'm just Halu here. Halu about what? Halu about what? Halu that you're gonna get the banner? Because I think at least in the gacha server I'm in, some people rolled the current banner in a Blue Archive Global, and they haven't been hitting the banner very often. It's like there's something weird with the percentages with the banner. I don't know what's going on. I also spent a lot on the Toki banner. I think I took like 170 rolls to get Toki, which is like ouch. I think I still have at least 15,000 gems or something before I stop playing. Which 15,000 gems is not enough for 200. Wait, 360 pulls for Mutsuki. What? Which one's Mutsuki? Hold up. Which one's Mutsuki? Is that the new one? The new one with a shirt sticking out of her shorts or something? Hold up, I need to check this out. Oh, wait, why would you take 300 rolls to get a 2-star? I mean, I know some 2-star girls are nice and all that. And you know, you just want. Oh, the New Year one. Oh, the New Year one. I didn't realize that. But wait. Didn't they have like a pity for that one, or like a 200 roll pity or something? Or am I wrong? Why would it take 360 pulls to get her? Unless the pity was something recent, though I don't think it was. I'm pretty sure that was there before. 360 is a lot, though. That's almost like... That's almost... The spark is for Kyoko, but not for Mutsuki. Oh, I see. I see. Gosh darn it, maybe I should play again. Maybe I should play again just because. I don't know, it's been. Are you serious already? Okay, so only you went for the cheap Akko route. Okay. You went for the cheap Akko route. Alright, alright. Because Kyoko is meta, yeah, I mean what if she is meta? What if she is meta? Wait. Let me look at this. Let me look at this, crap. New Year's one. Oh, she looks really nice in her New Year's outfit. I would not have guessed she could look like this, to be honest. Yeah, that's actually really nice. Can get more raid easily for more Pyrox on an investment. True, true. I guess there is quite a few sources of gems now in Blue Archive, so you don't have to roll every banner. I mean, if you roll every banner, you better hope you get in a few rolls. Otherwise you're gonna run out of gems really quickly. But I got Toki because Toki, you know, the bunny outfit. But I know I know the bunny outfit's a different one, but still, Toki's Toki. I think it was. I didn't realize they had like limiteds in Blue Archive, or at least, you know, really not rare, but I guess it's limiteds. I didn't realize I had limiteds in Blue Archive until the final chapter event. Good lord. New Year's Mutsuki is actually really nice. That's really nice. How come I haven't seen art of it? I usually see art of a bunch of other people. Well, I wasn't. Who was the other one with normal Toki? I forgot her name. But I also rolled for her just because, and I don't know if it was worth rolling for her, to be honest, because I didn't want to roll for her. I didn't want to roll for her, but I was so close to getting pity anyway. I went for it. It was just a few extra, and it's like, okay, may as well. Nagisa? I guess it is Nagisa. Nagisa was okay, but I feel like her kit is extremely niche, right? She gets bonuses for only certain types and nothing else. But I don't know if it's even that strong, to be honest. But she was limited also, so it's like, and I was pretty close. I was pretty close to the pity. That I said, screw it, let's go ahead anyway. If I wasn't like 30 rolls away from pity, I probably wouldn't have bothered. Just because she wasn't on my radar. But here we are. Oh crap. Oh crap. Alright, well, anyway. I think the one thing that's preventing me from going back to Blue Archive is just the loading times. The loading times are ridiculous. The initial loading time when you start up the game, I guess also the loading time between you like screen switches, that is kind of on the long side. But honestly, it's not as bad as I make it out to be. It's just longer than I'm used to, at least with depending on some games that I've played. Oh, looks like you disconnected. Oh, and you're back. Good. It's just a little bit longer than some of the other games. Ooh, who had it? Who had it? I was gonna call Ricci on the 4-mon, but I didn't because there was no 4-mon left. There was no 4-mon left. Kinda glad I didn't do that. But yeah. I don't know. Like I said, it's been liberating not playing any gacha games recently, but you know, there's a few games that are coming up that I do kind of want to check out when they do come around. Reverse 1999 is one of them. I think that's maybe coming out in the next month or two for global, I think. So that'll be interesting. I feel like also Girls Frontline 2 might be interesting. However, Girls Frontline 2 right now is in a bit of a mess as far as the coding aspect of it. There's this huge issue with it apparently, where if you install it and uninstall it, it uninstalls everything in the directory it's in. So normally you have games in their own directory, right? And if you uninstall this one though, and let's say you install it in C, let's say you install it in C, it uninstalls everything in C, including System 32, which is really, really bad. I don't know who thought of coding the uninstall that way, but that is a bad way to do it. That is a bad way and very lazy way to do it. I'm pretty sure there were some very upset people. Yeah. It wasn't supposed to happen, but I'm pretty sure that some people's PCs were bricked because of it. Crap. Ooh, nice. At least I don't feel so bad about this because, you know, it's a friendly match, but I still have to take my sake batsu. The sake batsu is still real, so I gotta be careful about that. Yeah. Anyway. I probably, you know what I should do though? I'm not gonna be in Tokyo for that long, in any time during my trip. However, the few times I am in Tokyo, I probably should drop by Akiba. I mean, if you're in Japan anyway, and you want to get some merchandise, always go to Akiba. Especially, you know, if you want to get the really hard to get stuff. I should drop by Akiba though and see if there's any Blue Archive merch, Girls Frontline merch in general. I will say though, there was a lot of Blue Archive dojins this past Comic-Con. So I'm assuming there's also gonna be a lot of fan goods or official goods. So dropping by Radio Kaiken, because that's usually where we're gonna find most of that stuff. If you drop by Radio Kaiken, you might find some really nice random stuff, and that's where I get a lot of my goods too. In Ami and K Books, forgot which floors they are, but you can't miss them. You can't miss either of those stores because you literally pass through them through the escalators, and you know you'll get to them eventually. I should drop by though. Let's see what's available. Wait, what are we emoting about? Did I miss something? What are we emoting about? I don't even know what's going on anymore. It's not that I'm sleepy. I took a nap. That's not the issue. Oh, the con! Oh. Really? We're going Masaka over that? Okay, thank you. That's not me. Freaking cheap Akko win. Why? Oh no. Oh no, I gotta get out of this. I gotta get out of this fourth place. Oh no. Someone hit the AI. Someone hit the AI, please. I mean, cheap Akko win is effective. Pretty darn effective, actually. I need to watch Side B again. I don't think. Wait, did they? I think they actually finished the Side B anime, right? The Side B manga itself wasn't very long, so they probably actually finished the anime also. I wish they, you know what I wish they did? I wish they finished the actual Saki anime, but I don't know if the manga is even done. I haven't watched anime in a very long time, but yeah, I do like the Side B more, to be honest. I feel like it was, I don't know, Side B just was more quirky. I liked it a little bit more. I think the only thing with Side B that I found a little bit weird was, you know, everyone has these really strange Mahjong powers. The Side B characters have really strange Mahjong powers, or at least the main team did. That makes hardly any sense. It seems like the worst balanced set of skills. The worst balanced set of skills. I forgot what not Akko. But I think Akko was a normal as far as Mahjong was concerned. Akko was a normal. She just goes for cheap hands most of the time. but negate skill is pretty cool though. Yeah, what I forgot who the MC was for side B. What was her thing? What was her thing? Cause she had the one passive that was really ambiguous for the longest time. It had something to do with mountains, but I don't know what the mountains were referring to. The negate skill one from that one other player was actually pretty neat, because it also ensures that nobody goes under. Which, you know, if you're facing against Saki's sister, you probably want that. You probably actually want that. The other weird one though was what was it? Future hands. The future hands one. That was very weird. Negate skills a mountain. Ah. I'm gonna have to double check those again. Part of me kind of wishes though. Oh, here, I don't know if they'll ever do this. They probably won't. Because it could make things really weird. But I do hope it doesn't have to be a ranked one. Ranked could be like just a very normal game of Mahjong. I wish though in Mahjong Soul, or whatever Mahjong variant game is in the future, they have a game mode where each character has a passive. I know it sounds really bad considering it actually becomes a gacha game at that point, when the point of the Mahjong tables is not to actually make it a gacha game, right? It's supposed to just be mostly a normal game of Mahjong. But it'd be interesting to see how they do it. I mean, I remember there was a Toho Mahjong. Crap, I'm in 4th place. I'm in freaking 4th place again. Oh no, we're not. Oh, we're going to south. Oh, we're going to south. Okay, I'm still okay. Alright. Ricci City has passives? Really? I haven't tried it. Does Ricci City have what do you call this? A PC version? I might give it a try. I did try it before, but I think the thing about Ricci City I didn't like was like it doesn't feel as good to play in. It didn't feel as good. The animations didn't seem to be as smooth. I don't know. It's a different vibe in Ricci City. Mahjong Soul is like the chill Mahjong game. Fairly bare bones, which I'm okay with. But Ricci City is like there's always something going on at any certain time. That's probably why there's events going on quite a bit now in Mahjong Soul, to be honest, to keep up with that. The only thing Mahjong Soul would have to do is actually figure out passives for everyone and give everyone skills and whatnot. I don't know if they'll ever do that, but I think it'd be interesting if they did have like one game mode for that. Maybe I'll try Ricci City again. Isn't Ricci City Japanese only though? At least last I checked it was Japanese only. Or at least it might be just Ku app. I might have to like install it from Ku app or something. Maybe one of these days we'll check it out together. Could check it out together. Making very bad decisions here today. But you know what? There's not a whole lot of steak except for my liver. Oh no! Oh no! Ako Tenpai? That's not good. I fear for my life. I fear for my life whenever Ako is in Tenpai. Also, crap, did I just discard 2 Dora? Wow. Now I feel crappy. I discarded 2 Dora! Oh my gosh. Well, let's see who wins this race. Let's see who wins this race. Anyway, speaking of Japan stuff, Radio Kaiken and all that stuff, I haven't really bought a whole lot from Radio Kaiken. Like Radio Kaiken, let me just give a brief overview. Okay, not me. Oh, very nice. Not 4th. Thank freaking goodness. Not 4th. I am safe. My liver is safe today. Congratulations on that win. Code Grass. Code Grass? What about Code Grass? GG? Yeah, congratulations to... I thought you were memeing Code Geass for some reason. But Code Grass is actually... That's a pretty good... That would be a pretty good, That's actually pretty good for congrats. We should make it a thing now. Anytime we just say GG or congrats to anyone in this channel, we just say Code Grass. I think that'd be great. And everyone's gonna be confused, like, what does Code Grass mean? Code Geass? Code Geass? No, we're not talking about Code Geass. It's congrats. Good. Yeah, I'm up for another game if you guys are. We're probably gonna be doing one more game, depending on how long it takes, and then we'll wind down with some stuff. Yeah. I only opened up the Mahjong for 2 hours anyway, and we're getting close to 2 hours. We're at 1.5 right now. But if we finish within 15 minutes, we can fill up the rest of the time with something else. Yeah. But yeah, Radio Kaiken in Akiba. For anyone who is going to Japan for the first time, Radio Kaiken is very, very easy to find. You exit Akihabara Station, and in front of you you'll probably see an Arte. Atre? Is it Atre or Arte? I forget. It's one of those 2 names. But Arte is a really, really fancy shop, actually. A really, really fancy shop in front of Akiba Station that has, I guess, maybe not super high-end, but some really nice pastry stalls. Also some nice department store stuff in the 2nd and 3rd floors. They usually have a bunch of anime prints, not anime prints, but like display anime type, what do you call those things painted onto the wall, onto the glass? They have those. Like one time I went, there was like a Toho event going on for Halloween, so they put like Toho characters on their outside windows, and I checked the upper floors out, and they had some pretty decent goods at the time. It was just a little bit out of my budget for that at that time of the trip because I spent a bunch I spent a bunch of money before then already, so that was kind of out of my budget. But it's nice to just look around, shop, like window shopping. I don't do window shopping normally, but window shopping in Akiba, always a good pastime. Window shop in Akiba, window shop in Nakano Broadway. The two places, if you're a fan of gaming and anime, go to Nakano Broadway or go to Akiba. Akiba is the one that where most people know of. Nakano Broadway is a lot older. Definitely has more of that old-timey feeling, but it is also still really, really great for the stuff that you can find there. It probably doesn't have the modern goods that Akiba does. Like, I doubt it, to be honest. But it's really nice to just window shop, and you might find some really, really neat old stuff there. Stuff that you might not find in Akiba. Which is a nice thing, actually. It's a nice thing, like, if you can't find anything in Akiba, like really, really old stuff. Like, I know there's a Mandarake, there's Melon Books and all that stuff. Mandarake is mostly a secondhand goods shop that deals in manga, figures, and a bunch of other types of collectibles. If you go to Nakano Broadway, though, Mandarake pretty much takes up most of that building. They have multiple floors of different stuff of Mandarake in there. They do have they do have shops in Nakano Broadway that focuses on manga. They also have other stuff that focuses on figures. And if you go all the way to the top floor in Nakano Broadway, there is a Mandarake over there that focuses on vintage. And when I say vintage, I mean like 1950s, 1960s, that kind of stuff. And they are like primo collectible items that will cost you an arm and a leg if you decide to buy anything over there. Most of the time it's like too big for most of the time it's gonna be too big for your luggage. That's the kind of stuff they sell up there. I honestly don't know who buys that kind of thing, but I think it's great that they can even buy that kind of stuff. So yeah, window shopping by itself is pretty nice. Just window shopping is great. 2.6, really? That's it? But if you want the general goods, if you want the general anime goods, they have a bunch of shops in Akiba, not just in Radio Kaiken, but a lot of people will stop by Radio Kaiken first because it's super accessible. Like I said, if you exit Akiba Station, you go to the left, and a little bit down the street, then you'll find Radio Kaiken. Right next to Radio Kaiken is a bunch of other smaller shops. One gigantic electronics store, not Yodobashi Camera. Yodobashi is further back behind the train station. I don't think I've been to Yodobashi in Akiba before, but I probably should just to give it a shot. Yodobashi is crazy. I've been to a Yodobashi in, was it Osaka? I think I've been to a Yodobashi in either Osaka or Kyoto. I forget which one. But it's crazy huge. It reminds me of the SM malls in the Philippines, and SM malls are gigantic. There's like the biggest ones are in Manila, but even the smaller ones outside of Manila are still pretty big. But I guess in Akiba, there's a bunch of department stores for sure. But Yodobashi by itself, just imagine this gigantic store called Yodobashi Camera, but they don't just sell cameras, they sell all kinds of electronic goods. From dishwashers to rice cookers to cameras to computers to whatever you need. Mostly almost whatever you need. They're kind of like Donkey, except Donkey's more general goods, meanwhile Yodobashi is more they're more electronics. Oh, I remember which Yodobashi I went to. I went into the Yodobashi in Kyoto. Yeah, I had to go to the Yodobashi in Kyoto one time to buy a SD card because the SD card in my camera at the time fried. That was not a fun experience. Also, the SD card cost me an arm and a leg. I do not know why. I'm guessing it was because it was a higher class of SD card at the time. That's probably why it cost so much. I don't remember anymore. I don't remember. Yeah, my SD card fried when I was like taking pictures. So I was just taking pictures while I was eating breakfast in Kyoto Station, and basically my camera shut down like during taking the pictures. I thought it was my batteries at first, like I ran out of batteries, but no, it wasn't. It couldn't read the SD card. I couldn't read the SD card, so I basically lost 7-8 days worth of pictures and moments that I will never get back. I tried to look for services that would help me recover the photos, and there were a lot of them that I did send it into one place in, I think, Germany or something to get it recovered. It never got recovered. I got the SD card back. I still have the SD card, but they said they were gonna try a method for like $500 or something, which I was willing to pay because I was so desperate to get those pictures. But at the time, it's like, it's not worth it anymore. It may as well just be lost to time. So it's like I lost a lot of pictures. And the worst part of it is that was the first time I went to Japan. So imagine going to Japan for the first time and you lose more than half your trip's worth of pictures. And at the time, you would think, oh, just upload it to Google. I didn't think about that at the time. Also, it was on a camera. It was on my camera, not on my phone. My phone at the time was crap. So if I tried to take a picture of my phone, it would not be very good. I had some pictures from the phone. They were not very good. They were absolutely not very good at all. But oh my gosh, I'm still very salty about it. I try not to think about it too much. But I lost pictures of a cave I went to. I lost pictures of my first trip around Akiba. I also lost some pictures in Hiroshima, also videos in Hiroshima. There was a Peace Park Memorial at the time. Peace Park Memorial Festival, I think, well, when was that? I think it was around Golden Week or right before Golden Week. There was a festival in Hiroshima. Lots of schools participated in there. Lots of businesses participated. It was really neat. It was a nice energy. Basically, they have this street called Heiwadori, Peace Street, next to the Peace Park, which is next to the atomic bomb dome in Hiroshima. So it's a very significant cultural thing for Hiroshima in general. But I didn't realize that at the time. But all I saw was a bunch of, food stalls, the festival food stalls, and a lot of people doing performances on the street. And I took a video at the time, and it's gone. It's gone. Imagine that being gone. I also saw, oh my gosh, my voice. I also saw some interesting stuff in Kyoto for the first time. Oh my gosh, I also lost pictures of going to Inari Shrine for the first time. Code Grass. Oh, is it? Are we in fourth? Oh, Code Grass! Code Grass! Wow, okay. At least I'm not fourth place, right? I wasn't fourth place. It was the AI. All right. I guess that's enough for the friendly matches. Thanks for playing, guys. Thanks for playing. I'll be finishing up my. You guys want to go again, or I guess we're done for today. All right. Anyway, I'm just gonna finish my thought here before we close out for today. But basically, I lost a bunch of pictures. Yeah, thanks for the games. Thanks for the games. Thanks for playing. Thanks for playing. But yeah, I lost a bunch of pictures. First time having ramen. No, yeah, I did. First time having ramen in Kyoto Station. I lost that picture. I lost other pictures around Kyoto Station that I took. I also lost. What else did I lose? First time going to the Inari Shrine in Kyoto. Lost those. Lost the picture for the Wagyu burger that I had. At the time, I didn't really understand that Wagyu was this really super soft beef. But there used to be a pop-up shop in Kyoto Station. It wasn't there on my second visit. I guess like it was really just a pop-up shop. But anyway, there was a pop-up shop in Kyoto Station at the time where they sold a Wagyu burger or a Kobe burger. I'm not exactly sure how they worded it. I think it was Kobe burger is how they worded it. And I was just kind of curious, and it was fairly within budget. I forgot how much it cost at this point now, but it was decent. It was decently priced. So I decided to get it. And they had a really nice bun. And the meat was like, when I bit through it, it was basically biting through nothing. And I wasn't sure what I was tasting. To me, it tasted like a really melty burger. But I didn't appreciate it at the time because I didn't know what I was eating. I did not know what I was eating. I thought it was okay. I honestly thought it was okay. Maybe not the best thing in the world for me. Because whenever I eat a burger, I think of like, I want some give, right? I want some give and, you know, a little bit of chew. But I mean, even though it's ground meat and, you know, it's cooked and all that stuff, I expected some resistance. There was no resistance. It was a really melty burger. I lost that picture. Oh my gosh. So basically what I did after my SD card fight and got the new SD card, the issue at the time was that I was already, like, it was already a few hours before I had to leave Kyoto to go to Tokyo. So I didn't have much time to do much of anything. So I tried to retake all the pictures I could around Kyoto Station. So I went back up to the ramen floor in Kyoto Station, took a bunch of pictures there, had another ramen around where I had in the same shop. I had another ramen in the same shop that I had my first ramen. I don't know if it was the same ramen that I had the first time, but I went to the same shop. I might have tried a different ramen and then took that picture, and now it is my most prized ramen picture ever. And I also went to the ice cream shop in around that same area, took that picture, and now it's my most prized ice cream picture ever. Did not go to the Wagyu Kobe burger stand because I don't think I had enough time, or I just didn't feel like paying for it, or maybe I was just so distraught that I just didn't think about it. But yeah. Anyway, at least for the Inari Shrine pictures, I was able to go back to Inari Shrine and take other pictures anyway. So didn't lose too much there, but it's just, you know, those first time experiences, and also for events that you're probably not gonna run into very often, like, you know, festivals. Festivals pop up randomly in Japan. Well, I say randomly, but you run into them randomly as you travel, and sometimes you're lucky to find a festival in the area that you're visiting, but most of the time you're just not gonna see them, right? Depending on the time of the year, depending on where you go, you may or may not see a festival. But if you see a festival during your trip, go to it. They don't happen very often, but it seems like they happen often enough in pockets around the country that if you at least go outside of Tokyo, you'll find something. You might find something, right? Like in my first was it the first trip? No, it was afterwards. It was after I got back from Kyoto. There was a festival, Kanda Shrine Festival, which is right next to the Akihabara area. So there's a shrine there. Some people might know the Kanda Shrine as the Lucky Star Shrine. So if you've seen Lucky Star, I think they feature the Kanda Shrine there. So a lot of people like to go to the Kanda Shrine as, like, you know, otaku pilgrimage. In Japan, you can do a lot of what do you call this? You can do a lot of otaku type pilgrimages. I did one myself in Saga Prefecture for Zombieland Saga. That wasn't the plan, but I did it because I was in the area, and it's like, okay, you know, let's do this, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this again. And I know I can go to Fukuoka anytime, but actually going to Saga Prefecture from Fukuoka is a trip by itself. And I did that for 5 days straight, and I don't regret it whatsoever. But anyway, Kanda Shrine had a festival, I think around Golden Week. And it was huge, it was busy. There were a lot of people. There were, I don't know if the friend that I was with at the time, I don't think we ran into a Mikoshi, which is the portable shrine that people carry on their shoulders and stuff like that. But we did visit the shrine. There were a lot of people there. There was like a performance by the, I don't know who they were. I don't think they were Miko, but they might be Miko. Mostly old people. Honestly, it's mostly old people. But there were a lot of people over there. There were also a lot of TV crews, I think. They do that quite often. And I took a lot of pictures of the I don't know what do you call this? Omikuji? The plaques. The plaques that people write their wishes and stuff on and hang them on the shrine. I took a lot of pictures of those. I still have those pictures. It's kind of neat to look at them because some people draw on them and the art is actually really, really good. And I know I'm kind of like invading the privacy of those things, but it's kind of out in the open also. But I'm also just there to admire stuff. I'm just there admiring all the art. I do have a couple of those shrine plaque thingies in my room right now. One from Saga Prefecture, the shrine that was shown in Zombieland Saga, the one with the giant catfish. I have a plaque from that. And I think I don't know if I hung one over there, but I do have one with me that says I went to Saga Prefecture, and you know, there's this plaque that shows I think they can only get from that shrine, that kind of thing. And also another one from a different place out in Ise, which is very, very far from anywhere. But Ise is nice if you just want to go to the countryside. And basically Ise is where the Ise Grand Shrine is. Ise Grand Shrine is the main Shinto shrine in Japan. You can take pictures and video outside of the main shrine, but once you get into the main shrine, they watch you like a hawk. You do not take pictures, you do not take videos. It is a sacred place, and they will definitely reprimand you if you do. I did not take my chances when I did that. I just kind of like went in, took in the experience as it was, and then went out. It was a pretty quick process. There's not a whole lot going on inside itself. I think they were doing some rituals that I wasn't quite sure of, but that's the main reason I went there. And it was just a nice place to get away from the city and all that stuff. But there was a shrine next to the place I stayed at, which is also apparently pretty famous. I didn't realize that time, but it was pretty famous apparently. So, but I got something from there too. Yeah, just if you want souvenirs that actually kind of are unique, go to different shrines in Japan and get their charms, get their plaques for yourself. However, if you get a charm for good pregnancy for yourself and you're not a girl, yeah, I'm not sure how that affects you. To be honest, I'm not sure that affects you. You might, maybe the good. I don't know how long those charm effects last. Maybe years later, or maybe not at all. Who knows? I know I got a charm from another shrine at near a place I hiked at, Mount Mitake. So there's a Mitake shrine. I got a charm from there, but I don't know what it was for. I don't know if I even asked what it was for. But I gave it to a friend of mine who was a girl, but I'm hoping I didn't give them a good pregnancy one. But if I did, it hasn't happened yet, and it's been years since then. So it's been years since then. But yeah, I mean, I feel like shrine amulets and plaques and stuff like that make for really, really nice souvenirs if you ever go there. Yeah, I mean, Akiba, always nice stuff to get. Gets random anime goods and stuff. But if you go to shrines, I feel like they're more unique. At least a little bit more memorable. To me, a little bit more memorable. We'll see. We'll see if I find some interesting stuff this time. I do want to get all the stuff, but I can't get all the stuff because I don't have that much luggage space. And now I have to check to see if my luggage is too big. I'm probably going to have to pay a penalty for that anyway. Oh well. If I do, I do. If I don't, that's okay too. Anyway, that's all going to be for today. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for watching. And thank you for playing. Thank you for joining me. I will see you guys next time. I think we'll try to have one more Mahjong and chat stream before I leave. If it's not a Mahjong chat stream, it's probably going to be something else. It's going to be more like a general chatting thing. I don't know. I still haven't decided. Yeah, you can't hoard. I wish. But there's only so much space. There's only so much space you can have in the luggage. And if you bring too much luggage, it's a pain in the butt to carry around everywhere. Trust me, I know. I have done it. I have done it multiple times. And it's not fun. Especially if you get into a train station that doesn't have an escalator and you have like 2 gigantic luggage you have to cart around. It's not fun. But I did it anyway because I got greedy. Remember guys, I'm very greedy. Yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't know if we'll have one more Mahjong stream or it might just be a general talk stream and we'll do something. But it will be in 2 weeks because next week will be another food review stream. So last food review stream before I go on trip next week, and then in 2 weeks we'll figure out what kind of Zatsu stream is going to be. Right? Okay, I'm done for today. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. See you later. And we'll be streaming. We'll be doing dual streaming on Twitch for the rest of the time until I leave. So yeah. Thank you for dropping by, everyone. Bye bye.